Today is an exciting day because I am setting up this nano tank as a new home for my red betta. Hello everyone, this is Charles from the FishLoft. I have been keeping many varieties of bettas for years, so let's jump right into building this new scape for my red plakat betta. He is getting a bit older, so I want to give him a smaller tank so he doesn't have to exert as much energy getting around. If you have watched any of my previous builds, you know I always start with a mesh bag of aqua soil to provide nutrients for my stem plants, which I then cap off with a fine sand. For a tank this size, I like to slope the sand from about 1 inch in the front to 2 inches in the back to allow enough depth for my stem plants to root and for enough room to grow a colony of beneficial bacteria. For the hardscape, I found this intricate piece of dragonwood that is exactly the right length to fit in this tank. Dragonwood will release beneficial tannins into the water column and can lower the pH. I always boil my driftwood in advance to prevent a sudden drop in pH and excessive tannins which can turn your water brown. I will include a link to my video on driftwood and tannins in the description. When adding water, I like to place a plastic bag in the aquarium to diffuse the water flow and avoid disturbing the sand. I am adding a heater that is preset to 78 degrees Fahrenheit, which will be perfect for my betta. I am using a very small internal filter. I generally remove the contents that it comes with and custom fill my filters. I've included a coarse sponge, biomedia, and polyfill that will provide both mechanical and biological filtration. The small filter will provide a gentle water flow, which is what a betta prefers. I am adding a light that is set on a timer to run for 8.5 hours a day at 80% capacity. We are now ready to plant. I am starting the planting with fast-growing stem plants in the background that I have trimmed from my other tanks. To hide the filter and heater, I am planting Kambamba that has bright green delicate leaves. These trimmings are from my coral red pencil fish tank. On the opposite side of the tank, I am planting some Ludwigia Super Red that has overgrown in my Ember Tetra tank. They display a beautiful red and green coloring in my low-tech aquariums. In the middle of the background, I am using trimmings of Mayaka from my Celestial Pearl Danio fishbowl. When I was cutting these trimmings, I unexpectedly found a dozen little fry swimming around in the cover of these plants. Stem plants can get a bit straggly at the bottom, so I think it always looks better to have something hiding the bottom of stem plants, like a rock or shorter plants. I think these will look nice growing behind the dragonwood. In front of the dragonwood, I am placing a plant that is new to me, Lagenidra Nieboldii Red, which is a slow-growing plant related to crypts. It has beautiful dusty green and reddish leaves. I will see how it likes growing in my low-tech tanks. This crevice will be perfect to wedge in a small Bucephalandra. I am also planting some dwarf hairgrass in the foreground that will be a slow grower under my moderate lighting. The last plant that I am adding to my aquarium is Salvinia cucullata, which grows in clusters, has small oval leaves, and short brown roots. You can start with a very small amount like I did, and it will multiply very quickly. I now have enough to fill nearly all my tanks. Their roots absorb excess nutrients from the water column. All plants, and floating plants in particular, are exceptionally helpful when cycling a new tank like this. The next step is to add water conditioner and some beneficial bacteria, which will help kickstart the entire ecosystem. I will now let my tank run for a few days before I add my red plakat betta. Bettas originally come from shallow pools and small streams with little water movement that often has low dissolved oxygen, so you want to make sure your filter creates a gentle water flow. Bettas are able to breathe air from the surface, so this shallow tank will make it easier for him to reach the top. He is active right now as he is exploring his new tank, but he definitely likes to take a lot of naps under the plants. He seems to be comfortable in his new tank, and I know he likes the floating plants that create a lower light level, which he definitely prefers. Let me know in the comments if you keep any bettas. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to support my channel. If you have the time, check out some of my other videos. See you next time from the FishLoft.